All right, guys, welcome back. Today we have a couple Xbox Series S's to work on. I purchased both of these on eBay, about $100 a piece. One of them's in a lot better shape than the other one. This one here, uh, the ad said that it needed an HDMI port, and as you can see, it's stretched out pretty good here, stretched out right there. So we're going to do this one second. It looks a little beat up. It's definitely been dropped a few times. I mean, all the corners are banged up. I don't know what people do with their consoles, why they don't just sit on you know, on the TV stand or whatever. But this one has not been opened, so that's good. Hopefully I'm not missing a bunch of pads, as the Series S's are notorious for the pads coming off of the board. It's just very poor design. This one here, the guy said that he bought it at an estate sale or something, that he did not attempt to repair on it, but I don't really know if I believe that too much. There's like stuff rattling around in there. This thing's not like put back together all the way. We're going to start on this one, see if we can find a fault with it, and then we'll move over to the other one, which I'm hoping will just be an HDMI port swap. So get this thing opened up and get this video rolling. And guys, if you could like and subscribe to the video, or like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the algorithm get this content pushed out to more people. And thanks for watching. All right, so we got it open. As I was taking this apart, where the power button goes, this board here on the front, you can see it is missing the plug that plugs in, and it is in there. So maybe that's the reason why it won't power up. But while we're this far, we're going to go ahead and pull the power supply out. We'll test it real quick, make sure it works. This fan is really disgusting. I have some donor stuff. Probably gonna screw it first, but I have some bunch of donor parts for this: cases, power supplies, fans, all that kind of stuff. So but being as that this thing is this dirty, and you can see whoever opened this had absolutely no idea what they were doing. All these little tabs are broken off. I'm gonna make sure we check this board really well that there's not missing components. I'm a little bit nervous about this one because when I purchased it, the seller messaged me confirming that I understand that it's broken and it does not work, and he doesn't know what's wrong with it, and he did not attempt to repair and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of makes me a little bit cautious. However, I guess not that cautious because I bought it anyway, right? Does have the SSD, so that's really good. As we all know, if it's missing the SSD, it's a paperweight because there's I believe it's a 1 GB partition on it that is married to the actual board. So if you can't just swap these SSDs out, you have to have the original. You have to be able to clone the original. It looks like somebody wrote on this one as well. It says Dawn on it, which to me means donor board. So I have a feeling that this seller knew that this was a donor. He might have purchased it thinking that he was gonna pull some miracle on it. But whatever. Let's see if this power supply is any good. Okay, so the power supply is bad. Yeah, so maybe it's just the power supply and the front power button. Let's see if I have another one. I don't know if I have another power supply. Actually, I might have used it in my last Series S video. Okay, I actually have a ton of power supplies, so that's good. I don't think they're tested though, so we'll just test them real quick, see what we got. There we go. That took a few seconds to show up, huh? Let me change that speed. Let me test this other one again. Where did it go? Because that did take a few seconds to pop up, didn't it? Oh yeah, so the power supply is good. Okay, well, never mind. Maybe it's just the power button in the front. But again, it says dawn on. Yeah, I mean, we're missing the retimer. It's missing the ESD chip. This console's not going to work. That's a shame. I have a really good, I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about the guy. He might not have known, but I got a pretty good feeling that he knew that this thing was tore up. Yeah. I mean, I'll go ahead and plug it in. We'll just see if we can get it to power on, which would, let me know if the other components are good. Yeah, nothing. This thing is trash. So gotta stay away from broken consoles on eBay. It's not worth it. Of course, I'll continue to buy them, but it's a bad idea. This guy. Let everything start heating up here. I'm going to apply some flux to the legs here and here, and then all the way across the back of these pins here. I'm going to be pretty generous with the flux. These, like I said before, these pads are notorious for coming off, and we definitely don't want that to happen. So I'm going to be using 100% airflow, 480 degrees Celsius. We're going to start just by heating the whole area uh, of this board all around here. And then we'll come in from underneath with heat until the legs are molten. And then we'll remove the port and do the same thing in reverse, going back the other way after we clean everything up real good. All right, guys, that took a lot longer to get off than I was hoping. I think I might need a new uh, hot air station. I don't know if mine's getting as hot as it says it is because that took a whole lot longer than it was supposed to. So I'm going to mix some leaded solder in here with this, and then we're going to wick it up. You can probably go straight to a wick if you wanted to, but make sure you get these little tabs right here across the edge of the board. Those are actually very important to help keep the port on. So we're coming in. So as you can see, we're missing a couple pads right here, which is very, very common. We'll grab some solder wick. And it looks like the pads that are missing are actually, they're not like just ground pads, so we will have to do some repair work on that. So as you can see, we got these two here that are missing right here. Okay, these come up, go through these little filters, and then head over here to the retimer here. Some people call it the encoder, the retimer, whatever. This is the ESD filter here. These are the two very common things that there are issues with, that or obviously this. So I'm going to go ahead and use the solder sucker to get these holes cleaned out, the through holes here. We're going to get everything cleaned up completely. We're going to repair these two pads, and then we will install a new port and test it. Okay. We're done with that stuff for right now, so we're going to go ahead and get it back up onto the bench instead of hanging off the side. Get some stuff moved out of the way here. Okay, so we're just going to come in, like right here. Make sure that we're not attaching to anything that's already loose, right? So if you have some loose trace, like so you see how that just folded up like that? I want to get that off of there, and I want to scrape back the conformal coating on a solid part of trace. I do have a little grinding pen. It doesn't work very good. This works just fine too. Man, that thing is hot, hot, hot. Burning my fingers up over here. It's amazing how much heat these boards will take. So at this point, guys, we got the traces repaired. I want to very gently come in here and we're just going to clean this up a little bit. Make sure that everything is soldered on properly. We're going to be putting some UV mask on this as well. And I'll show you how we do that here in just a second. I want to try to get this as clean as we can. I know that it can be a little bit daunting with these wires moving around, but my opinion is with these wires, you're moving them around a little bit, they could break off. Well, if they're going to break off that easy, you want them to go ahead and break off, so that way you know that you have a good solid connection, because it is a very small wire. It's a very small amount of solder. So I'm just taking out this little piece here and this little tail right here that doesn't need to be here. Okay. You want to get these, get them lined up the best you can. Sometimes you got to look at it from this angle, make sure that, you're kind of in the center here. They don't have to be perfectly straight. As long as we're crossing where this pad normally would be. I'm going to come in and put conformal coating here, here, and down here at the bottom, and that's going to help to keep those straight and in place um, when we put the new port on. Conformal coat or solder mask, UV mask, whatever you want to call it. If you've never used this stuff before, it does not take very much of this. It goes a long way. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and cure this a little bit, and then we'll come back and finish covering what we need to. I prefer to do it this way, so that way I'm not trying to, put conformal coating all the way down this with these wires moving around and stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and put a UV light on this, usually about 30 seconds or so. At the very end, once we get it all completely done, I'll do uh, I'll do it for about a minute or so. All right, we'll finish covering this up now. All right, guys, looks good. Maybe a little bit thick right here, but it's not a big deal. This is not underneath the port. You don't want to build this up really high because the port does have to set down flat right here. I mean, it might look like it's a lot. It's not. These are microscopic uh, pads here. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to add some flux here and then across these, this is the way I do it. Across these pads, I'm gonna add solder to these pads. I'm not gonna do anything in the through holes. We're gonna hit those from the back side after we get it on, once we get the port installed. So we're just gonna come in here with a little bit of flux here. Need to open a new one still haven't done it. And get some solder. Okay. I'm gonna come in with just a little bit of flux here on the pads. Gonna spread that out with a Q-tip. And we went ahead and tinned the port. Come in from underneath until we see these liquefy, right? I'm gonna heat up this port a little bit as well. This helps the solder to stick to it. You're not going on with a super cold port. We also need the solder on the pin pads to be molten as well. I'll apply a little bit of pressure, heat, keep applying the heat. come off with the heat. Give it a second to solidify. We might have to come in with the soldering iron and hit these pins. Okay, so that's one of the ones that was repaired, and so was that one. So I kind of figured those would need to be touched with the soldering iron. So we're just going to come over these ones here. Okay, so all that looks good. We're just going to come in, put a very small amount of solder on my iron. So we're coming into this pin. Oh, I'm sorry. We need to put some flux on here. You're going to bridge everything. Flux that up. Okay, so you can see we have a bridge here that we need to deal with. I might need to pull out my other iron to get this bridge dealt with. Let's see. There we go. My other iron is bigger. It's hotter. It's not best to use it all the time on this stuff because you can definitely burn up the traces with it because it definitely gets a lot hotter. It's a Weller. It gets a lot hotter. But for doing stuff like this, it really gets the job done as long as you're quick and precise with it. So we're just going to give it a quick little clean here. And then, of course, I'm going to check those two pins again. Just make sure that they are making a connection. Now, you can see on here that the wire, so you can see on this trace right here, that the wire is underneath this pin. And then here's the other wire, and it comes up underneath this pin. So that's good. Let's just see if it's stuck. That one is stuck. Oh, sorry about that. This one. This one. Yeah, I believe it is stuck as well. So we're going to come from the underside. We're going to flip it over, get up underneath there, and solder these legs on. So we're going to add some flux to these 4 holes. And then we are going to, I'm actually going to hang this off of the edge because I like to come in with some air underneath, which helps to pull that solder through these holes. And it'll help pull it through the holes and bind with the housing of the port, that this part here with the legs on the port, help it actually run up those legs, which is what we're looking for. So we're going to load up the soldering iron with some solder, heat from underneath, solder coming in from the top. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get this partially assembled so we can test and see if it works. One thing I didn't even check to see if this thing powered on before we did this. I just jumped right into it, so hopefully it turns on. Grab the power supply. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and put the heat sink on it. Seems like a smart thing to do. We're going to put all the boards on it. We're feeling lucky right now. I don't know why, but feeling lucky. Okay. And HDMI cable. Hopefully we're not having any issues with my, you can see the fan is spinning with my capture card. Like I'm always having issues with my capture card for some reason. But let's see. Power's on. Yes. Yes. Fantastic. Well, I guess I'd like to see it go further than I thought it was going to do the Xbox logo, but apparently it's not. I'm sorry that the display looks so bad on the capture card. It looks perfectly fine looking at it straight from the bench. It's not green like this or anything. It's just regular. I just want to get in here real quick and make sure that it has the 4K option. We'll just skip that for now. Yeah, all of this looks perfectly fine. No issues. Let's do device control. I know that there was a way. Electronics. Auto detect. See, that's what I was looking for. Auto detect. I don't have an auto detect. Hmm. I think maybe, oh, you know what it is? It's over here. It's this one. Yeah, here we go. Auto detect. Okay. Knew it was somewhere. Oh, okay. So we auto detected to what, whatever this is. This is terrible. Why would it do that? Do HDMI. So I get to 1440 now. Screen because it's definitely a 4K monitor, and then we'll do some more testing. Okay, so as you can see, guys, it is looking better. As we just saw a second ago, I wasn't able to do the 4K, so I'm going to. I think it's my capture card. I've been having some issues with it, as you guys know if you've seen my other videos. So I'm going to do it off screen. And thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe, share it, and I do got the two PS5s in. So one of them I believe needs an HDMI port. The other one has no power. So I will be working on those next. I'm going to try to get them to them. Try to get to them this week. If I can't get to them this week, I'll try to do it over the weekend. Just got a lot of stuff going on right now. And yep, thanks again. I'll see you all in the next one.